Sensitivity is intelligence. With grace and skill, you have abundance. Welcome to the Psychic Hour. Host Kelly Brickle is a psychic medium healer, numerologist, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's through spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, there's always a pathway of information waiting to help. Now, here is your host of the Psychic Hour, Kelly Brickle.
Hello and welcome to the Psychic Hour. I'm Kelly Brickle and we're on WLTK-DB, Let's Talk Radio. This is a show where we do readings. We talk a little bit about all things psychic mediumship healing, and then we have our reading show. Hi, Jessica. Hello. And it's a time where, you can pop down your question, and it's numerology and psychic and card-based with the tools that we'll be using. So there's just like a multimodality kind of theme that we always do. And it's fun. It's something, heartfelt. It's something that's gentle at the same time. They're mini readings. And I think that, it's a blessing for, if you are having your gift to put yourself on a platform or put yourself in a space when you are comfortable to share your gifts, because people need to be inspired by the kinds of life that they want to build. I know that within my life, I was watching people do radio with psychic mediumship. I was watching people teach classes, demonstrate, reading books, right? So all of this was very much the focus of my interests when I was learning about who I wanted to be as a person, what did I want to do with my career. And it didn't just all come together. It was very sequential in some ways, but I made sure I had my focus and the rest kind of took care of itself. And so that's kind of the theme that I want to talk about, is like cycles and changes. And there's going to be always a lot to talk about with cycles and changes. But I know that when I was first beginning, I just had this like immense interest and immense pull to learning about that you could be a sensitive person and actually like not just feel, but know information about the world, know information about people. And, it was in truth. It wasn't in perception. Now, we're not perfect. So we're always being humble enough to go, hey, I have a piece of the pie, right? I don't always have every single detail in every single way. But you work and you intend and you believe that you just grow and develop, where there's a devotion to being that. There's a humbleness in knowing that you're human, but there's a devotion to just to be better at the way you perceive. It's just like playing basketball. Like if you loved basketball, you're going to work on your free throws. You're going to work on your 3-pointer shots. You're going to work on your half-court shots. And then it's just, what do you want to do with basketball in your life, right? And that's what it is. It's a skill. Like a lot of people talk about it's a gift. It is a gift. But I think like everyone has the capacity for the gift. It's just a matter of if you have relevance and interest in the gift. You have to have enough interest and relevance in the gift, because life is kind of crazy. And do you have enough interest where you're going to just keep focus on it? Are you going to keep your intention on whether you want it in your life or you want it like to do it every day or every week, as something to be a foundation in who you are? Like not just on a personal level, but as this is who I am as a career, or this is who I am just as a person, and it's infused in me in some way. And I'm very extroverted in public in the fact that I'm a spiritual person, or I'm a psychic medium, or I'm a healer. And all of those are big decisions in somebody's life. I think the world guides us sometimes with how ready it is to say, hey, like this is the next step sometimes, but a lot of times it doesn't. A lot of times you have to go within yourself and say, who am I despite the world? And that takes strength And, that takes faith, takes confidence too, but it takes a lot of strength and faith because you're not basing that with what's around you. You're holding your own, bastion. You're holding your own, protection, and vibration. And that takes effort. And that takes, the guidance of something greater than yourself that you can't see. So I think it's really important that if you're putting yourself out into the world, you've gone through what spirituality means to you because, people are going to ask you a bunch of questions like, do you believe in this? Or what about in this circumstance? And what about in this way? And it's just when you are ready to talk and have conversations, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And you can spark that with other people. But I do think that there is immense thought and reverence in this work. And yeah, spirituality isn't everything. So as long as you talk from the heart and are authentic, you're sharing something divine. And so I think that's so important to talk about. There's the reverence and the skill. And then there's just like, it simply is like we're all gifted with this. And there's a balance somewhere in between, of course. Um, I just want to acknowledge, though, that the focus is so important. I find that when my focus is, not as strong, I go, I don't feel like myself. Right. And so we have to like have this awareness of self as we're letting go of self. But we have to have that foundation built up because if we don't, you can feel your energy going in every which way because a lot of people are highly empathetic as intuitives, and their empathy will lead them to, you know, this room, this person, that person. And, kind of wherever you're just the greatest energy pulls you, the greatest emotion, the greatest situation, it will just pull you. And that's a reactive energy. And we're all so reactive in what comes our way unless we are focused. Right? We're pulled into pieces, and if we're in pieces, we can't have that rich strength, that holism that grounds us to the earth and goes, "What do I wanna do with all my energy?" If your energy is all scattered, then it's gonna be very difficult. I'm just gonna say it, it's gonna be very difficult, you know? Like, every day, every week, mostly several times a week, and every month, I have goals. And I know that when I'm focused, those goals get done. And when I'm scattered, the goals get done. But I go, wow, like I haven't even been thinking about some of this stuff. I haven't even been thinking some of this stuff. So when you put people around you, books around, maybe movies too, radio that inspires you or some audio. It keeps your mind in the vibration of this is who I am or this is who I'm working to be. And your energy starts to change, whether it stabilizes or it's healing or it's learning. Your energy starts to change, and it either changes with how reactive you are and just tonifies who you are, or it starts to just change, amongst what you're going through. Um, and it's so important because that's like the theme of this week. Like, we're made to grow. Like, we're really made to grow as spiritual beings. And when we are scattered, we are growing, but it's so confusing, our growth. It's so confusing, our growth. And the growth is just, the spark is just the light, the spark, the light of who we are as a soul. It's like dispersed, it's not concentrated. And when you're seeing these people that you look up to, whether they're an NBA superstar or I'm talking about basketball a lot, a spiritual teacher or a psychic medium that demonstrates, their energy is aligned. It is. It's not scattered. So we're all scattered in some ways. It's just a matter of fact. We're not masters of every single form of energy, and we're all really focused in some ways. So like, think about, yeah, no matter what happens, there are some things that if the world went disarray, you would just be a rock star in, like whether it's, helping people not fall apart, whether it's looking after children, whether it's like, you know, figuring out complex problems, whether from the logical side or the emotional side, whether it's like, survival skills. There's certain energy streams where we're just like, we already know, we're already locked in, and we can do that with anything we set our heart and mind to and our goals to. It just has to be something that like actually sparks us. There's things that they sound like a great idea. There's things that actually are a great idea for a small amount of time, but certain things just don't linger. And it's just like the way that we use our light, it has to like extend. Like there has to be these rays of light that guide us through the world. And the light just keeps going and it keeps nourishing and it keeps like the passion, the fire behind that like leads us, and we go, okay, I'm still here. I still want to be here. I still want to do this, or I've always wanted to do this. That's where a lot of the magic is. And then the rest of the things that we do are just as important, but they fuel the fire for some of the biggest like expansions that we have in our life. So I really do believe we have, a handful of these big expansions that were made to experience, develop within our life. And then we have a bunch of little ones that help fuel the big ones. So never be discouraged if you are, led somewhere. Just kind of step back for a second and go, what led me here? Like, what I'm not supposed to be here for face value reasons. I'm supposed to be here because it connects to something greater. It connects to my purpose. It connects to making sure that I keep going, that I am the type of person that I need to be to continue to be here effectively. Purpose is so important, and purpose is just not very much. It's not just a one. I don't know why I'm called to say one-sided thing. Purpose is not a one-sided thing. That's a kind of funny way to say it. But purpose is not just a one passion, one talented thing. Purpose is it's just when things are bigger than yourself and you just feel like I'm in the right place and I'm helping others. And I've heard people, it's interesting. I'm still always learning, but I've heard people talk about their purpose where it's like it's not always their passion. When they're in it, it's like they come alive, but they actually have other passions that help refuel their purpose. And so, as long as you are feeling this is why I'm supposed to do what I'm doing, and I have those other things that help give me perspective as I return, I think that's some of like the most self awareness you can have if you're not just locked in with it. Refuel yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Refuel yourself. Keep returning to what you are meant to do. And usually it involves just helping others in some capacity as you help yourself, like artists. They're healers, they're helpers. You don't think about that always, but they're creating works of art to make other people feel better, other people to feel inspired, other people to feel like they like their environment, right? So in every capacity, or like mechanics, they're healers too. They are taking away the stress of people. Just think about it in every capacity. Please open your mind and stretch your mind and think about it in every capacity. Like mechanics, they are repairing, right? They are repairers. They are fixers of things that we need in order to have autonomy in our lives, to have freedom in our lives. They are fixing a barrier to freedoms. They are fixing, and repairing things that would give a normal person a tremendous amount of stress. Like, I just want you to think about in every capacity in your life where you are truly helping people, or your husband, wife, your friends, and you think about what's their purpose, because we think a lot about of our own purpose, but when we look around us and we see other people's purposes, as long as you are, and as long as you are helping others and in your alignments and you're doing excellent work, hey, and I just really want to continue to encourage that. Like, some of the greatest energy masters don't do psychic mediumship. Some of the greatest energy masters aren't traditional healers. They are coming in with fantastic wondrous energy in different facets, and that's what the world needs. We need so many different types of energy streams to elevate our consciousness, and we need so many different types of energy streams to make this place, the best place it can be as souls. And there's no one right way to do it. You just got to be feeling aligned, helping others, and growing. Like feeling like you're growing, feeling like you're moving as you help others move. And yeah, let's look. So aspirin's like kind of like a highway heading straight in a general area and adjusting lanes when needed. It's kind of like that, but expect things never to go straight. They could go straight. Expect things never to go a certain shape or way, or the highway could turn into a desert, the desert could turn into a sea, right? But there's some type of course, right? There's some type of energy that's leading you and laying you to go forward, laying out some type of tracks, laying out some type of map. Even if you can't see the map, you feel like there is one somewhere, right? So it's very ambiguous, but you just have to keep moving, moving and adjusting, moving and adjusting. Okay. Yeah, growing is a funny thing. It really is. Um, so Keith says, so very true, and how you can share the light too. Yeah, sharing the light it's a thing. It's a spiritual concept, but it's a thing. Like light, fire, it's energy. And energy makes up the universe. There's these just ginormous balls of light, these ginormous stars, right? And they're just like full of so much tremendous energy, and they fuel the universe, and the combustion that creates stars and dark matter and all that stuff, it fuels the universe with the energy exchanges. So it's like, that's what I think is this very spiritual question. What is your energy exchange like? Are you a mighty sun fueling others? Are you did you just go supernova? What is going on? What is your energy exchange in your entire life, not just in your spiritual practices with exchanging readings, or talking to people about uh energy? What revolves around you? Very important to think about. Courtney says, I never run out. Well, if you did, if you did, we wouldn't know you as Courtney. I love that you feel like that is a central focus. Like you're like, I identify with I never run out. That means you're just like brimming with energy. That's worth its weight in gold. Energy is valuable. Energy fuels the universe. So you can be, and I hope you identify as this powerful creator. You could think of yourself as a creator or a co-creator, but you're this powerful force of creation. And if you have endless energy, I know when I have endless energy, I'm just like coming up with new ideas. I'm, you know, I'm updating things, I'm creating, content, classes, and I'm sharing it with people. I'm like, "Oh, like I have this extra fuel and I've created all these wonderful things. Now let's go out there and share it." And it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling, but everyone does so many different things with their energy, right? Like you could, oh gosh, that vitality heals people. It really does. Oh, Jessie Cat, you're so sweet. She's talking about, love your intro so wise. You're a beautiful soul. Back at you, Jessie Cat. Back at you. I mean, there's always so much to talk about when we are understanding why we're here, Like some people like to contemplate while when they first wake up, they're like, well, what's the purpose of today? What's the purpose of the year, right? If you're into astrology, numerology, you like really think about like, what's my purpose this month, or this day, or this year, because like you're so much aware of all these factors. So whether you're aware of all the factors like that or in other capacities, life starts to have a really interesting fascination of the possibilities of how, we're influenced, but how we influence at the same time. And it's like this, it's just this energy exchange always going back and forth. And it's just like, yeah, what's your energy exchange? Are you defaulting? Are you leading? And what areas is that actually comfortable or healthier, harmonious? Because I don't want to be leading energy in every single capacity of my life. No, I'd be exhausted. I want to, sometimes just coast in healthy environments where I go, ah, great, that's your thing. I'm so appreciative. And then at times I lead and I go, hey, I got you. And other people can coast and go, oh, this is really nice. And gosh, there's endless things to talk about, endless things to talk about. Okay. Courtney said, when you like, what does this year have to teach? When you like, what does this year have to teach me? Oh, I think I know what you're saying, Courtney. Um, to something to the capacity of like when you're able to kind of touch into what the meanings of things are. When you added another word, but I'm still stringing it together. Um, but there's so much. There's like archetypes in every year and every month about what you're going through. Hmm. And it doesn't mean it changes who you are. It just changes. Um, it changes sometimes the energy around you and your thoughts and feelings, but it never changes who you are. It just says to you, hey, you need to focus on this. You need to think about these things. You need to feel about these things. You need to be in this energy so you can evolve your own energy. Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking at some, if anyone has any questions, I'll go into some questions and then we're going to open up the space for readings. Um, let's see here. Let's see. Looking around. Someone's talking about 222. Yeah, repeating numbers. There's a power of repeating numbers. Mindset. Jessica, how says, love how our guides and loved ones send us messages through numbers. Yes, you're making me think about guides. So, yeah, the universe is like, there's so much symbol and symbology that goes into what we think and how we identify. I mean, the world teaches us symbology, just think about ads or just even when we divide up people, whether how they look or their background, and we go, this is a symbol of an entire community. And, people influence how other people feel. And it's just like your symbology. Is it because another person gave you a symbol, or is it because spirit is showing you that this represents this and you're understanding a deeper meaning to it? There's a lot of things. There's human symbology, and that can be very at face value. And then there's spirit symbology, and that's very much like it's a road to the truth. You're on the right track. And so I'm a big fan of spirit symbology. I was just thinking kind of about spirit in general today. And I'm sure everyone has heard of the phrase like, who you spend the most time around, you become. Like sometimes it's the 5 people you most spend within, time within your life. Like you will become them in some way. And so it's like for people who don't even have, let's say, diverse social lives, um, if you're just talking to your mom all the time or like your brother all the time or your cousin all the time, that's still someone you're going to that's your social circle. Or let's say if you don't have much of a social circle outside work, that's your social circle. And if you're not interacting that much, then you're going to become reclusive because you don't have you're not flexing and exercising that energy. So if you don't have a lot around you, you're going to kind of shut down. And it's just like it's so important to have good quality environments and people around you. And the reason I was thinking about this because for people who do guide work, those people, some of them who are in their network, who they consider to be like one of their best friends or their greatest source of guidance is a guide, or it can be God, or it can, whatever is divine to you. It's like that source fuels them and influences them, and they're becoming very, very close with the divine. And so I think a lot of mediums, because they have to work with their guides, they have to sit within the power, like they become so accustomed to that energy because they're spending so much time in the energy. And like, you got to spend time to become. You have to be routinely in that energy to become. So it's like, who's around you, and do you really like what they're helping you to become? Again, how is your energy exchange? So, let's see. I'm open for a reading. Yep, we're gonna go into readings in just a second here. So we have a bunch of people coming in for that. Awesome. Casey, when your mindset is like, what is oh, what yeah. Casey's talking about when you have every year be in the mindset of, what does this year have to teach me? And and oh boy. But if you do that, you get so much good stuff. You really do. And the more you like work with that mindset, the more you become so flexible in translating what the universe or what spirit is giving to you. It's like a language. You learn to speak a different language, and then about 5 years in, about 10 years in, imagine how masterful you're going to be at that language. 15 years in, 20 years in, you know, even 2 years in, right? It's a different type of way to hear and listen, and to interact with others on a soul level, interact with spirit on a level where we have not been taught. And you just start getting really adept at the language, and your mindset changes, your world changes. It's a real thing. It's just like, it can't be explained, it has to be experienced. Hello, Tony. Okay. Yes, you take on the energy like a flower. If you water it with bleach, it will die. Blunt, but simply put, yeah. What are you watering your energy with? How are you nourishing your energy? And your energy is your body, because your energy said, I'm going to live a physical life, and your aura surrounds your body. Your aura protects your body. Your aura is enmeshed with your body. There is no separation. Your aura is overlaid over your physical body. So they're working together very, very intimately, your aura and your body. So you got to nourish your body if you want to nourish your aura, and you got to nourish your aura if you want to nourish your body as you are existing in the physical world. Putting that out there. Don't forget you have that physical body, y'all. Okay. Courtney's making me laugh. All right, let's go into readings. Okay. Someone had put down their numbers. I'm always attracted to the numbers. At the top, where are they? They popped on their numbers somewhere. I'm just looking at, everyone be patient with me as I find where the heck. Oh, there it is. So it was Tiara. She says, I'm open for reading for whatever guides you. And then she gives me her birthday. Excellent. Let's go into it. All right. Okay. 8. Yep. I'm just doing all the lovely, lovely math. So Tiara, you're a personal day 2. And when someone's a personal day 2, there's actually a softness to their energy that helps, on first impression, to encourage people to open up to you. Now, you're an attitude 8 though, so you actually do have this rigidity, but you can actually use that softness that someone first feels to help temper, you know, actually a lot of your strong personality. 8 attitude 8s, like you have strong personalities because they have very particular preferences. They like things to be done in a certain way. They're high achievers. Um, they have ambitions. So it's best that you are in roles where you can exercise your authority and exercise your voice, where you can change things for the better, or you will actually be quite frustrated. Now, you are a life path. Oh, I just did the math wrong. Isn't that so funny? You gotta sometimes though when I say things, if you can identify with the first thing that I said, I'd be really, really intrigued to know. Because sometimes I'm led down a path for a reason. But I just realized I did the math wrong. Oh, see, you said my Virgo Mars, haha. So there's a reason I talked about it. Spirit leads me to go to a different number for a second, but they always make me catch it. Okay, so you can still identify. All right. Let me redo da 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 da. All right. They made me catch it before I said it. Excellent. Okay. Good, good, good. Just double checking. So your action attitude 7, how fun is that? But what we said applied because spirit is magical. Um you're an attitude 7. So even though you're like very particular, you're one that likes to really take in a lot. Like you're very studious, you're very perceptive, you're very conscientious, and it's actually important that you share your findings with others. Sometimes like you hold back a little bit on that, so that like comes in, but your life is really made to be around other people and to help like support other people and to help bring other people together, because you're a life path 6, and 6 is all about creating a network of family where you're able to support others that you love and believe in, and like lend them a helping hand, where like you put your heart and soul into projects and you help lift other people up, or you help like shield and protect other people. So you'll always be the happiest, and I really encourage it. You have to find a job where you feel like your coworkers, like some of them, not all of them, but like some of them feel like family, and you're like, I have like so much respect for the people around me. I like them as friends even. Um I would take a bullet for these people. They're just good people. You have to have that. And if you don't have that, actually it will feel like you're not in the right place. S- Those family dynamic vibes, even though yes, work is separate from family, they cross over for you. It's what you need. It's what you need. But yes, family is very, very, very important. Um, your life will revolve always around family, unconventional or conventional. And I say that you're in a life, excuse me, you're in a cycle of 5 right now. And so when you're in a cycle of 5, it's a year of change, like on a more intense level. So what happens is things go faster. It's a very fast vibrating year. Like you'll be from month to month, whoa, and we're already in March. And the nice thing about that energy is if you put your mind to something, things get done very fast, much faster than last year. Last year actually has a slow vibration compared to this year for you. So there's quite a difference. When you do have a cycle 5 and last year your cycle 4 in your chart, it makes you feel like you want to career change. It makes you feel like you really want to evaluate where you're living. And so it's about like bringing in kind of fresh new energy, and it makes you start thinking like, hey, I'm not really what I'm doing is not really doing it for me this year. So really honor that, because if you don't, you'll get more and more itchy and antsy and more like, I don't know, I don't like this. I don't know, I want something different. Just honor it. Like you will feel so much better. Your year is all the archetype is all about change. So please do that. Change for the better. Try different things out. Be spontaneous. The number one thing I really encourage in this year too is travel. Travel is a must this year. You need to go places. You need to step outside your comfort zone. So, those are some of the main things that are popping out. And just know that, like, you do have this gentleness when people first feel you, even though you have actually very strong energy in other placements. So, Use that gentleness to your advantage. Okay. When needed. I tell people that some people have very strong energy, but they're very like sensitive and gentle, and it's just like use your first impression energy to your advantage. When you need to be perceived as gentle, you have an energy to help you to do that. When you need to be perceived as strong, you have the energy to do that. And in certain situations and environments, you lean into different things so people can see you clearly. That's really important to talk about in general. Like sometimes we are certain ways and people just can't see us clearly. And we have to go, I actually am like this, And they're like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And you're like, yeah, I actually am like this. And so if you have a soul connection with somebody, you don't really have to spell it out always. But for people who are just not getting it, sometimes we have to know how to showcase our energy so a person just works with us more effectively. And so I'll give you that. All right. Okay. Okay, I'm glad that makes sense. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go to Brenda. Seeing if Brenda popped out anything. Brenda. Okay, she wants a general reading. Awesome, beautiful. Brenda. I'm in a numerology mood, everyone. So if you want to pop down your numbers. certain days I really am. I'm just like, I'm just really into the numbers today. Okay. Brenda. Okay. So what I got is just some highlighting of some energy present. So and I'm coughing all of a sudden apparently too. I got the family card, and it's in a placement where there's a lot being sorted out with family. There's, sometimes there's like stresses within family, and it's just those stresses have been brought up whether through phone calls or situations like that. That's kind of a little bit in the forefront and making kind of peace with things. And the card that I got that situates with that is trusting yourself. Trusting yourself. And that's very much about knowing what works for you and like sticking to it, and knowing what's good for you and vocalizing that. And it's in a placement where that's not easy to do in this situation. And it showcases that results, they're not going to be immediate, and they're not going to be understood, and they're going to take time. So with family and sticking to your guns, it's very important. And when you stick to your guns, it has to be in a place where you go, this is the right thing to do for me, not just because I'm like, what the heck are they doing? It has to be the right choice by you, and to honor it. And those results of people understanding you will be slow. I think that when the truth wins. And so things start opening up for the truth. So I want to give that to you very strong. But sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years. And so you just have to really honor what works for you and what feels honorable. I'm just going to say that word honor a lot. Ultimately, when I tied these two together, you got the master of your own fate card. So that's very harmonious for like stepping back from the energy and saying, hey, like, I'm going to be aware of what how things happen, what's going on, but I'm stepping back, and that's how I amplify trusting myself. I'm stepping back, and I'll just kind of more observe what's going on, and like kind of say my piece with it, and just kind of keep going, because I can't change what I can't change. Okay. So I do think it's important at this time to put focus on like things that really bring you back into your power. I got the career and vocation card. So that's like tweaking career, or tweaking how you utilize, like how you share your talents and gifts with the world, and putting more emphasis into that. And I just don't think has been given proper time and attention. So I say that because some people have gifts and they're not really utilizing their gifts, and it's just like they don't really like take it as seriously that actually they can do a lot to help other people. And they're like, "Is it really important?" And it's like, "Yeah, it's really important." And actually, like, it's the perfect time to do that. Like, there's a new energy opening up where you're living more for you. And so when we're living more for us, we need to do things that really like uplift us and make us feel powerful. And I actually think to really go out and utilize yourself differently and make some money with it. That's coming in. Also, like the final card that pairs this kind of all together with like family and stepping back and trusting yourself and mastering your own fate, right? And getting into your own energy in a very different way is the needing a friend card. So it's like that's all about needing a different support system around you or creating one and saying like I actually need something different than I've been getting. Yeah, your family's your family, you can't change your family, but I can change, my friends and where I put myself. So I'm gonna do that because I really need something different because this is just it's not it doesn't feel like very positive situations. And it's like we can plant ourselves in different situations. That's the one power of stepping back. We step back and we step forward into something else. So that's what I give you. That's what comes up, Brenda. I hope that makes sense. All right. I'm in a numbers mood, so if you all have numbers, okay, Vaninda. Let's do your numbers. Okay, right. Your attitude 4, your personal day 9, and you are a life path 2. Yep, that's right. Excellent. And you are in a cycle of 2. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Vaninda, okay, you're a type of person that planning and structure is very, very important and very, very needed. I also think that people like really feel comfortable like around your energy because it's like you're the type of person that is very proactive. You're very much a doer. You get things done. So people have like respect for the fact that you're like kind of always ready to work, always ready to help, and you have this vibe to you where you are capable of it getting done even before if they know you can get it done. So I think people much very much naturally look up to you. The reason I say that as I look at your numbers additionally is because you have a personal day 9. And when people have personal day 9 energy, people like glow with this old soul energy and people kind of just like trust them easier. And they just go, oh, this person is capable. This person has certain talents. I just get this indication that they can do it. Um, and then you have all these people based numbers with what is coming up. And so that lets me know that you can walk the walk as well. You're in a cycle too. So when someone has a 2 vibration for the year is meant to have emphasis on relationships and also have emphasis on the relationship with oneself. So in one capacity, it's about relationships where you're finding more kindred souls and what it means for you to feel appreciated and loved and connected to people that touch your soul. So it's a time of romantic love and understanding that, or it's a time of finding actually very deep friendships. Something that comes up absolutely in those cycles are the relationship with self. And so it's a very emotional time, and you can feel very, very sensitive. Like, so there's more emotional extremes like sadness, anxiousness, anger, happiness, you know, and there's these connectors with remembering oneself, like when you were a child, when you were a teenager, things that have happened that you've repressed, like emotions bubble to the surface so they can be dealt with and rectified. So know that this year actually is supposed to be much more emotional, and you actually do well with some of these things sometimes because you are a life path too. So your life is all about understanding why we feel the way we do and having a lot of compassion within that. So that's going to actually you're going to feel very empowered this year. It's going to be like a very, very productive year. You're going to feel very empowered. And I really think you're going to lock in more with your career with that as well. You're going to be like, this is who I am. This is what I'm amazing at. And understand how to withhold my boundaries and feel empowered on another level this year so I can do what I need to do effectively and say yes because I know it, just very much stronger, and no because that doesn't serve me. So, boundaries and career and shifting with how you connect to others in a more loving fashion and with yourself, that those are very, very, very strong themes that come into place. Okay. So Aspen is putting down her numbers. Oh, Brenda's giving some clarification. I've for the reading prior, I've had deaths in my family. I'm having to totally readjust my life. Yeah, the family card is very, very difficult and having to just step back and to know that you have these keys to life where you can do things incredibly differently and you have a very different perspective on what you can do and what you should do with seeing what's been going on with in the family. Yep, that's coming up very strongly. Um okay. Aspen, you're putting down your numbers. Okay. Aspen, your attitude 5, you're a personal day 5 as well. And look at that. You are a life path 5. You don't always find it, but sometimes people are triples of things. And so they have very intense built up energy when they're triples. You're a triplet. You're a 5 triplet. You're in a cycle of 3. Okay. So yeah, Aspen, you are a 555. And so that means that I'm just going to give you a heads up. You have to really work within your life to not be so impulsive. I'm just going to say that right out of the gate. I say that with so much love, please. Because 5 is such a freedom energy and there's so much airiness in the 5. And the 5 just goes, I have an idea. And then the 5 is very physical with how it utilizes its inspiration. So it's very airy and it's very physical. It's very interesting. So it's like, okay, I have an idea and now I want to do it. And so your mind is so fast that sometimes you don't look before you leap. And then you find yourself in certain situations and you're just like, dang it, or it's like the peaks and valleys. This is amazing, or dang it. So just as you come into being, understand like that you are someone who is like a fantastic manifester. It's just like understand what your freedom can give you and balance it with just a little bit of consideration. You're like, I have so much power and I have so much freedom. So I know I can activate it. So let me just tune in. Let me just tune in a little bit before I activate this because I can actually create quite powerful results. So that comes in. You're in a cycle of 3. This is actually very good with the rest of the numbers that I'm seeing. It's a much more lighthearted year. Like last year was very, very emotional, and this year is not as emotional. I mean, it is, but it doesn't feel this like this. The gravity does not feel as heavy. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a time for you to network and meet a lot of people. It's a really social encouraging year where you can have more kindred friendships or you can meet people who help you accomplish your goals just from again this network of I'm looking to get this done. Oh, I know this person, they've done this before, or I need some people like in my group Do you have any other people who have interest in this? Actually, yeah, now that you mention it, and you're bringing people together, or you're finding people together, and they don't have to be like your best friends for life, but everybody works together to further, like, yes, I know this person, or yes, go this direction. So it's very much that energy. So it creates like a lot of opportunities to get things done rather quickly. And so there's going to be a lot of variety of how can I put this? You're gonna grow a lot this year through like a lot of variety of situations and people. And you're gonna get like very excited because you're gonna understand potential through people and your networking. So it's very good for building the business. Yeah, I just things are good this year. Just adopt that. Adopt that knowing, and like breathe and have faith where things are going to be better this year, okay? I mean, life is life and we have pitfalls, sure, and we have things happen to us, but actually, you have a very supportive year to make sure that you are uplifted and you're laughing, and that you're not in situations where you're isolated. So, I want to give that to you as you were um, traversing the year. You actually have a lot of really good and supportive energy and flowing energy to help that happen. So if you can get out of your own head sometimes, and kind of just go, I need to get out and have a good time, or universe, send me some people that are gonna help me do this. It's like the law of attraction for you is going to be more gangbusters. So please use it, because next year it's not going to be the same way. It's a little bit of a slower paced energy year, because we need that. We need fast and we need slow. We need all of it, or life is just robotic. So this year has a lot of quick, fun, fast energy. Use that to your advantage. That's what I'm saying. Silver linings, shining golden light not- amongst some of the clouds. Okay. Use it. Use it like magic. All right. She says, I can feel it. I'm kind of scared. I appreciate anyone and everyone that comes and goes. Well, some of the people that come and go, they're actually going to be there for very positive reasons. And I just want to keep sharing that with you. Keep sharing that with you. Um, okay. I'm reading someone talk about Mario Kart, Kelly. I did play Mario Kart the past 2 days. Felt good. I think that's someone talking about sharing their joy, right? That's Jessie Cat sharing her joy. That's amazing. We talk about being in your joy a lot on this show. It's like very, very important. You have to find things that like, you know, make you go, I am having the best time ever right now. Woof, I needed that. So if that's accomplished during video games or Mario Kart, then more power to you. Yes, I love reading that. I love reading that. Thank you. You're welcome, by the way, Aspen. Yes, I hope that helps. Seriously, I love your energy too. So, just because you've been playing Mario Kart, Jesse Cat, let's do some of your numbers, right? I re- I reward people who give themselves the gifts of video games. That's fantastic. Okay. Attitude 8, personality 2, and life path 9. And then you're in the cycle of 6, right? That's right. No. Hold on a second. Math and me today. I'm really like loving to do the numbers, but math and me today is a funny thing. Da-da-da-da-da-da. No, that's right. You're in a 6. Okay, I'm overthinking life. All right. So you're in a cycle of 6. It's really important this year that you look at family and managing family in a way that works best for you. You have a lot of really strong energy that can help make people listen to you. You might have polarizing results, just heads up. But you have a lot of energy within your life where you're actually supposed to be a leader. And so sometimes we're not a leader in every capacity of our life. We might be more of a leader at work. We might be more a leader within our friendships. Um, And then we are cultivating that within maybe our family. And the fact of the matter is correct. Like there's we don't have to be a leader in every single capacity, but you have numbers where you're still meant to lead. So when you're meant to lead, a leader catches things. A leader goes, "Oh, this can't be forgotten. This has to be fixed. Maybe we shouldn't go there. Like, to this business, or maybe we should choose that business because I'm getting like some intuition where I just don't like the person's vibe, or I get a feeling like we shouldn't go tonight." It's just like the big things and the little things, right? And it's just it's because you catch the details, and also you feel like when energy is good or bad, just very naturally. And so when that happens, it is important that you always do speak up. And within family dynamics, sometimes people don't want to listen, or sometimes they're going to make it a little bit more difficult when we speak up. But your energy is really made to speak up. Um, and so it's about redefining family and how family dynamic works for you, and how you're honored as a person amongst the family. I know we're talking about the word family a lot, but it's really, really true. Let me just look at, so January was a time where things were a little bit like more contemplated of who I want to be, what do I want to make of this year. So there was a lot of emphasis on that. And then into February, if you can understand, if you had to sign any contracts in February, or kind of reevaluate things where there were some decisions made, um, and it could have been like with again, it could have been with the family, right? It's not just your sole decision, but there was like contracts or paperwork handled, where it kind of secured how certain things about the year was going to go, or a couple years going forward. So some more serious decisions were like um, handled in February to set everything in motion, set a new cycle in motion, if that makes sense. And then we have ourselves in February, excuse me, March. We have ourselves in March. And March again comes back to, okay, I guess going through that, right? Okay, good. Um, and so March comes back to family again. So you're in a 9 vibration for March. And 9 is still a huge family number, but it's about shedding what no longer serves you, with the family, where you have to just kind of like watch it as people change, but as well as process your past and go, why have I gotten to this point? Sure, like when you're a family, you're selfless and you have to let people kind of learn their own lessons and in their own way. And then you just kind of have to support them, and life goes on around you and you do the best that you can. But the 9 energy is all about, okay, when this changes, when I have a moment and pause, what kind of person do I want to be once I catch my breath? And so we can't always have every month where we're able to do that effectively, right? We can't, but when we do, it has to be in a place where you're rising up and you're exercising more of your natural leadership skills. And that's really how you're going to have the pace of your life, like amongst, because you have so much going on. So you really have to get into that energy and re-coordinate how family works for you, because family will either drain you or uplift you. And if it's draining you, you got to put down some boundaries. You can't just let stuff be happening to you. Even if it's with love, people need to learn, people need to grow, and you need to tell people, whether they're a small child or an adult, yeah, that doesn't really work with me. Like I'm going to go do this. That's that, that doesn't really fly with me, or that's not really helpful, or I'm going to go do this instead. And so you have to change the norms. Okay. Um Let me read into what you're saying too. My son tried to ruin it and said, "No, I'm playing here. Your remote." Wanting my remote. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you need more than one game system. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, a big fan of more than one game system or different types of games. You play this game while I play that game. We have to rotate here. Um, all right. See, yes, of course, makes a lot of sense. It's what I'm going through. Okay. All right. So it's because your archetype is the year of family. and it's going to make you see what works and doesn't work. And so I really want you to lean into what works and take charge, and life is going to go much, 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 much better that way. Okay. So that's what comes in for you, Jessie Cat. We'll do one quick one and then we will close the show. We'll do Tina, 9/26/76. Oh man, thank you, Tiara. That's really, really sweet. Thank you, thank you. So we have another attitude 8. So Tina, your attitude 8. You are personal day 8 too as well. And your life path is 4. Okay. And you are in a 6 cycle of 6 too as well. So we were talking about family a lot. Well, that's what great. Like Jessie Cat's reading just amped up some relevance for Tina's reading. And so Tina, this is a year of family for you too as well. And so you get to redefine how family supports you. Or sometimes we create a new type of family. Sometimes when you have soul relationships around you, you can treat them as family and say, hey, I would like to spend more time with you, or I want to cultivate an environment where, we're regularly doing things where I feel so super supported in life. Like when I have good people around me and they're local, I'm like, hey, like let's do a lunch once a month and let's go to some amazing, awesome restaurants where our tummies feel supported. And it just feels like, a sisterhood, right? Or it feels just like I have what I need. And I feel like I'm not so much alone in the world. So the family archetype is really much about close relationships that feel like family. How do you utilize your support system, because you get to control how to utilize it. It might be hard to, but you really do. You have a lot of balancing numbers, Tina. So within your life, you have to have structure in place to support your life. So different people have different needs and motivators. Like, for instance, someone just a couple of moments ago had a lot of 5s. That person doesn't need a lot of structure. They need to be very, very inspired and spontaneous by the universe. And they need to just like be free and create and have very little structure. But you, on the other hand, you need to have a lot of structure in order to feel like I don't feel overwhelmed. I feel like, I'm contented. And something that comes in really strong within your energy is you need support with making sure that your house or things that you use every day, like even your office, is like beautiful, organized and beautiful. And if it's too boring looking, pop it with some color, like buy a piece of artwork, do something where you're just like, this is my space. And since this is my space, I just feel grounded. I feel like not so much windblown with life. Like I feel like sometimes sometimes you're like I'm just exhausted. Well, when you have spaces, and spaces are very, very important, you're very sensitive to your environment. um they can actually heal you. They can actually heal you and just be like, wow, I feel so good here. And it just all of a sudden your energy just like boomerangs. So I would like you to utilize more of that, like whether it's design, again, color, composition, rearranging furniture, do that. That's going to support your environment and really, really get behind how people are supporting you. You get to lead that. Okay, that's what comes in. Okay. Oh, you're asking about career change. I will pull one card for that. And we will finish on that note because you were most curious about career change. All right, Tina, for career change, when you have a cycle of 6, is about finding environments and finding jobs where it's not so much about the money, it's about what you believe in. And it's about who you believe in. Okay. So, of course, jobs should always be about the money. It's how you're supported in life and how you can have a quality life. Sure. But it's like it's when you are in a cycle 6, it's more so about, how does life emotionally support me? Do I like the people that I'm working with? Do I believe in the company's mission statement? Do I believe in its values? And for maybe a different look at how I'm selecting things, I have to look at that a little bit more, because time is money. Stress stress is costly. Stress inhibits health. If my health is affected, I'm leeching money. And if I'm happy with the people and the environment, I might as well just be having extra money in my bank account, because I'm feeling like $1 million when I'm there. And I'm not buying all these things that prop me up. So good support is worth its weight in gold. And that's very much a theme if you are selecting a job right now. That's the theme of the year. Okay. So what I got for you was the last minute magic card, and that's all about basically that you have to really trust your gut more, and you have to leap on opportunities that are in front of you, that you know within your gut are like, this is a slam dunk. This feels good. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm going to do that. And it's basically about, you kind of just have to go, because if you don't go, if you don't jump on what you know is good, it might be gone. Yeah, you can always find something else, but it's like the magic of trusting yourself is important more than ever right now. Do not do what you've done before. You got to just, when you see fresh energy and you know it's good, you got to jump on it. That's what's coming in, and it's in correlation with job. All right. So, with that said, everybody, thank you for coming for the reading show. Thank you for being with me with the card readings and the numerology, and for listening from just whatever pops up with Spirit's guidance. I will see you next week. We have a wonderful show. We have Althea Gray on the show. Oh man, she is just like a wonderful healer with so much history and has been in this work for so long. So I'm honored to have her on the show with our interview series. So I will see you on Wednesday. Take care and see you soon. With that, go with love, luck, light, and don't forget to live, everybody. See you on Wednesday. Bye.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.